Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon all those people who watch this video. And I hope that in some way it can help you. I know that my life has been changed drastically since I found Islam. I was, in my youth, an acolyte and an altar boy in the Roman Catholic Church, so I have a full understanding of how the church operates. I also, throughout life, have attended a few other churches, even went out on a limb and found the Baha'i faith, and did a little time there, I guess you'd say. But what I found was a continuous uplifting of this Baha'i law, and I can't put anyone before my God. So in my searching, I ended up becoming an ordained minister, and I opened up a little cyber, I guess, help website for my church, which was called Church of the Seeking, and I did a little outreach program in my community, helping people with donated items. They would bring them here, and then I would distribute them to people who needed them. Did that. It was, an enjoyable bit of work. But during this time, I was starting to write things on my website which were contradictory to mainstream Christianity in large ways. I even called out most major religions and told them, you're worshiping other than the one God. The first commandment out of all 10 commandments, you shall make unto yourself no graven image and have no false God before me, for I am a jealous God. And so we're to worship no other God but God. That's it. La ilaha illallah. That's it. One God but God. That's it. No other gods. And so Christians themselves, when they say, they take Isa alayhi salam and they make him a deity above his station. And I'm sorry to anyone I may upset, but Isa alayhi salam, a wonderful prophet, known to us as the Messiah, known to us as the Christ, known to us as divinely placed in the womb of Miriam, peace and blessings be upon her as well, for what she endured. In all, I wish peace and blessings upon each of the prophets and the messengers and their families and all the rightfully guided. And peace and blessings be upon everyone who has ever suffered in the name of truth. It seems that truth itself is something that people really don't want to fight for. And the fight doesn't have to be a physical fight. See, the word is taken out of context so quickly. When I fight people in the name of Islam, I literally am sitting and speaking to them about the truth of Islam, about what I have found in Islam, about no God but God, about the equality, the love, and the beauty of creation, about one human race, about a beginning and a guaranteed end time when all shall be judged. And when I'm reading about all that has come before, and all the warnings, and all the clear, obvious, absolute evidence that is held within the Most Holy Quran, just the way it's presented, the way, the logic, the knowledge, the implications into our lives, and the absolute totality. When people say, where is the guidebook to life? I've heard it over and over again as I was growing up. I even uttered those words myself. As a Western person, we're not involved a lot with Islam, and we didn't have this, upbringing of the knowledge of what's contained within the Most Holy Recitation. And people are wanting to tell you, the guidebook to life is the Most Holy Quran. And once you find it, and you find the authentic hadith, I'm not trying to start a rift or cause trouble, but Islam is meant to be one religion. It mentions to us that we will become a fractured people, torn apart. And I see this today. I see Muslims fighting Muslims. I see Muslims fighting Christians and Jews. Now, I'm telling you right now, as a person, a member of Islam, that is wrong. I have read authentic writings, Sunnah, that state quite clearly that we are to not be the starters of war, and that we are to be closest to the Christians and the Jews and the Sabians, for they are the closest to us. So when we fight against a religious cause, when we fight religious people, we're not brotherly and neighborly, kind, considerate, compassionate, then we're acting outside of the Deen of Islam. We're acting outside what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed upon us, and we are not passing the test for Jannah. Dunya is a test. Now, anger isn't going to pass the test. Hatred isn't going to pass the test. Brutality isn't going to pass the test. Thievery isn't going to pass the test. Deceptiveness isn't going to pass the test. Lying to humanity and thinking that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not see the intention of your heart. Read the words. The intention of your heart is known quite clearly. Not a leaf falls that it is not written in a clear record. Be aware that every morning when you arise, you should arise with Bismillah. You should clean your face and your hands and your feet and make wudu, and you should make yourself start each day with Bismillah. If you're not, then what are you doing with your life? If you don't close your eyes contemplating the grave, contemplating what is to come, your own grave, not somebody else's, your grave, contemplate that. Contemplate how long it's going to be between now and then. Do you know? Allah knows. You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows except Allah. And that is an amazing thing. So live each day to its fullest. We are to learn. We are to be examples to mankind. We are to forever, for all time, hold the truth dearest to our heart. Not to be people of anger, hatred, abomination, blasphemy, idolatry. And we're not to split apart. We're to be one ummah, united. People, what's wrong? You who claim to be Muslim, the name Muslim, one submitted. Okay, Muslim. You don't put something in front of it. You don't put something behind it. You're a Muslim. Submitted. Okay? Now, Shia, Sunni, American Nation of Islam, all these other things that were separated into these fractured bits and these little pieces of torn apart people. That isn't the way. Did the Prophet come in many pieces? No. Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah, Nabi of Allah, came in one piece, as one man, as one prophet, Nabi of Allah, Rasul of Allah. And when he gave his message, it was one message, not many fractured messages. One message. We're told that the Quran can't be changed. So how can more than one people exist of that book? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all Muslims. Everywhere. But I'm telling you, you may become angry with me, you may shut me out. But I'm telling you that in what I've read, the authentic Sunnah, the authentic recitation states, cling fast to the rope of Allah. Avoid separation in your deen, and do not alter the word. So look inside yourself. Decide what you're doing each day with yourself. Peer pressure isn't the pressure you need to fear. Peer pressure isn't going to save you in the grave. If you have votes on your side with a bunch of people saying, oh yeah, but he was following our way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best is what is for his bond. Not us. Again, peace be with you. And please, find righteous guidance. Seek truth. Study alone.